The puppy look. Bucky's mom was washing dishes. Their dog Sprite was there too. "Hey, Mom," said Bucky. "Do you want to play a game?" "Sorry, dear," said his mom as she scrubbed a plate. "I'm busy now." Sprite barked and then looked at her with his puppy look. She sighed. "Okay, Sprite," she said, and she gave him a scrap of food. "No fair," said Bucky as he went away. Bucky's dad was reading a book. "Hey, Dad," said Bucky. "Will you help me fix my plane?" "When I am done with my book, I will help you," said his dad. Sprite put a paw on his dad's thigh. He had his scruffy doll. Bucky's dad looked at Sprite. Sprite gave him the puppy look. He tossed the scruffy doll for Sprite to fetch. "No fair," said Bucky as he went away. It was no fair. His mom had no time for him. His dad had no time for him. Sprite sat next to Bucky and gave him the puppy look. "What do you want?" asked Bucky. Sprite just looked at him. "They always have time for you," Bucky said. "You give them your puppy look, and they make time for you." That was it. They did not have time for him. He was just their kid. But they always had time for Sprite, their dog. He was going to be a dog. Once he was a dog, his mom and dad would make time for him. Bucky went to Sprite's bed and lay down on it. Sprite gave him the puppy look. "Go away," said Bucky. Bucky's mom saw Bucky sprawled on the dog's bed. "Bucky, why are you on Sprite's bed?" Bucky did not say a word. "Do you feel okay?" asked his mom. Bucky did not say a word. Said his mom. "I will go get Dad." Bucky's dad joined his mom, standing next to Bucky. "See here," said his dad. "What's going on?" Bucky did not say a word. His dad stooped down, looking stern. "What kind of joke is this?" he asked. "It's not very funny." Bucky did not say a word. "Bucky," said his dad, "you are not a dog." Bucky did not say a word. Bucky's dad stood up again. He looked at Mom and shrugged. "What should we do?" his dad asked his mom. "I don't know," said Bucky's mom. "He will not say a word," said Bucky's dad. "Dogs don't speak," said his mom. "He is not a dog," said his dad. They looked at Bucky, who lay with his eyes shut. Sprite sniffed at Bucky. He scratched at Bucky, but Bucky kept his eyes shut. Sprite lay on the floor next to Bucky. Bucky's mom and dad went away. Bucky kept lying there, but soon it started to bore him. He sat up. "This is not how a dog sits," he said to himself. He put his hands on the floor. He did not like sitting like that. "I'll find Mom," he said. but he needed to walk the way a dog walks. He tried to walk on his hands and feet, but his rear end stuck too high in the air. So he got on his hands and knees. That was better. Bucky's mom was in the yard, digging in her garden. Bucky walked up to her and sat with his hands on the ground. His mom saw him. "Bucky," she said, "if you walk like that, you will stain the knees of your pants." Bucky did not say a word. He gave her the puppy look. His mom sighed. The puppy look made her want to do something for Bucky. "What do you want to do?" she asked. She picked up a stick and threw it. At first, Bucky did not know what she was doing. Then he got it. She was playing fetch. Now he had to go find the stick. And he had to stay on his hands and knees. He walked, or crawled, across the lawn. He sniffed at the ground. What was he smelling for? What did a stick smell like? All of a sudden, he found the stick. It was just luck, but there it was. Now what? He sniffed the stick. He smelled dirt and wood. It was kind of a good smell. For a game of fetch, he had to bring the stick back to his mom. But he could not pick up the stick with his hand. He bit the stick to pick it up. It was hard, but he made himself do it. Now he tasted dirt and wood. That was not quite as good as smelling it. His mom smiled when he gave her the stick. "Good boy," she said. Bucky wanted to do something with his dad. He found his dad walking down the hall. Bucky sat next to the door. He gave his dad the puppy look. "What?" said his dad. "Why are you looking at me like that?" Bucky did not say a word. He kept giving his dad the puppy look. "What do you want to do?" asked his dad. Then his dad got it. "You want to go for a walk." Bucky smiled. He wanted to wag his tail, but he did not have a tail. So he just wagged his rear end. Bucky's dad acted like this was not odd at all. Sprite's leash was hanging by the door. His dad took it down. He clipped the leash to the neck of Bucky's shirt. Then he opened the door. "Let's go," he said. His dad walked down the street. Bucky walked, or crawled, next to him. They had to go slowly. Some friends of his dad stopped to stare at them. Bucky's dad just waved to them. A police officer came up to them. "What are you doing, sir?" asked the officer. Bucky's dad said, "I am walking my dog." "That is not a dog," said the officer. His dad looked at Bucky. Bucky looked at the officer. He gave him the puppy look. "You are a boy," said the officer. Bucky did not say a word. "Well," said the officer with a shrug, "keep going." It was 7 o'clock, time for dinner. Bucky's mom and dad sat down to eat. Bucky was hungry. He wanted to eat too. But he could not sit in his chair. His dad grinned at him. "Maybe you will be a boy now." Bucky could not give in to that. He sat next to his dad and gave him the puppy look. His dad frowned. "Don't beg," he said. Bucky found Sprite's food bowl. There was food in it. Bucky was so hungry. He sniffed at the food. Boy, did it smell bad. He could not eat that. His mom started to clear the dishes. She came up to Bucky and put a plate on the floor. It was his dinner plate. Meat, corn, and a roll with butter. Bucky was so happy. He put his face in the plate and ate. After dinner, his dad sat in his chair to read. Sprite sat next to him, like he always did. Dad looked at Bucky, and then he looked at Sprite. "Go away," he said to Sprite. Sprite went. "Come here, Bucky," said his dad. Bucky sprang up, happy, and went to his dad. But once he was there, he did not know what to do. His dad did not know what to do. His dad tossed Sprite's scruffy doll across the room. He wanted to play fetch. At once, Bucky walked or crawled over to the scruffy doll. But when he looked at it, he could not pick it up. It had Sprite's dog slobber on it, and Bucky could not make himself bite it. Sprite saw that Bucky was not getting the scruffy doll. Quick as a wink, he sprinted for the doll and took it to Dad. Now his dad was playing fetch with Sprite. It made Bucky sad. Then came bedtime. Once more, Bucky did not know what to do. By now, his mom and dad were letting him be a dog. They did not make him brush his teeth or go to his room. So, once more, Bucky sprawled out on Sprite's bed. He was getting tired of this game. Sprite came and lay next to him. That felt good. Sprite was a good dog. Then Bucky's mom said, "Good night." She turned off the light. Bucky lay in the dark. Sprite's bed was small, and it smelled like dog. Bucky could not sleep. He missed his bed and his sheets and his blanket. "Sprite," he said, "it's no fun here in the dark." Sprite just yawned and kept sleeping. He slept here all the time. Bucky's mom came to the door. "Bucky," she said, "it's chilly. Why don't you come sleep with us?" Bucky started to walk or crawl to her. She whispered to him, "You can stand up. I won't tell." Bucky smiled. They walked to the bedroom and got into bed. With his mom on his left side and his dad on his right side, Bucky slept. He was happy. When he woke up, his mom and dad were not there. They were out of bed and doing things. He sat for a bit, thinking of what it was like being a dog. Parts of it were fun, but not all of it. His dad came to the door. He had the leash in his hand. "Come on, boy," said his dad. "It's time for your walk." "Dad," said Bucky, "I'm a boy again, not a dog." Bucky's dad stared at him. He did not know what to do. Then he put down the leash and smiled. "Well, Bucky," he said, "we could fix your toy plane if you like." Bucky sprang up, this time on his two legs. "Yes, Dad," he said. "I'd like that very much." And Bucky didn't even need his puppy look.